you go. That's fucking disgusting. You should
Jizz.
Cool.
Hello, Vandegrift, and welcome back to the Viper Pit Stop. I'm Max.
And I'm Josh. Let's get into the news. Level drop requests are open for the second semester, and if you want to submit one, talk to your teacher first. If you're a senior, also check with the universities you're applying to, as level drops can impact admission decisions.
The deadline to submit level drops is noon on the 19th, and the link can be found on the December counseling newsletter. Speaking of college, ACC registration for the spring is underway. If you're taking spring ACC classes, you should be registered. Registration for summer and fall ACC courses will begin in January.
Midterms are this week, and there's also no pit this week. Also, Friday happens to be an early release day. The midterm schedule and the special bell schedules for test days and the early release day are on the Vandegrift News website.
Also happening this week is holiday theme days. Tuesday is pajama day, Wednesday is dress like an elf day, Thursday is tacky sweater day, and Friday is holiday slipper day. We hope everyone has a fun time dressing up and has a great Christmas break.
Now, let's get into sports. The boys cross-country team got invited to the Nationals recently and did great, ending up 7th overall. We're super proud of them, not just for an amazing result, but also because this is the first time a team from Vandegrift has qualified for Nike Nationals. Congrats, cross-country.
Taking a look at last week's basketball scores, boys won against 2 games in a row, beating Vista Ridge and McNeil. They won against Vista Ridge by 1 single point coming into overtime, but coming out victorious with a score of 49-48.
Their game against McNeil on the 13th was much less close, ending with a score of 57-47. Girls basketball sadly did not beat Vista Ridge like the boys did, however, losing 68-61. But they came back on the 13th and absolutely crushed McNeil, winning 65-22.
Finally, football won against Summer Creek on Saturday at the state semifinals, beating them 34-31 at Baylor. We're so happy for them getting so far in the playoffs and cannot wait for the state championships.
Now, let's look ahead to our future games. Since we obviously won't be broadcasting over Christmas break, we'll also include the games happening over break. This week, boys basketball plays Cedar Ridge on the 20th at home at 7 p.m. It's also PJ Day at the game, so wear your comfiest PJs and enjoy some basketball this Friday.
Once breaks start, they head into the Glen Holiday Classic Tournament on the 27th. They play Copper's Cove at 10:30 a.m. and Lake Creek at 4:30 p.m. Then they come back to Austin for a game against Manor at 1 p.m. on the 31st. Rounding out their holiday games, they play Hutto at home on January 3rd at 1 p.m. This game also has a theme, this one being Adam Sandler Day.
Girls basketball has a similar future to boys basketball, also playing Cedar Ridge this week at 7 p.m. They play at Cedar Ridge. Then they also head to the Glen Holiday Classic Tournament, playing Copper's Cove at 9 a.m. and Glen at 1:30 on the 27th.
Then they play Manor and Hutto just like the boys, playing Manor at home on the 31st and Hutto away on the 3rd. Both games are at 1 p.m. Also playing over break is our varsity football team. They narrowly beat Summer Creek in the state semifinals, powering forward to state championships.
They play South Lake Carroll on Saturday the 21st at AT&T Stadium in Dallas at 3 p.m. We are so proud of our amazing football team for getting so far in the playoffs, and we wish them the best of luck in the championship. That's going to do it for our sports coverage. Now...
Vandegrift TV in Austin has identified a weatherman capable of causing a mediocre weather segment to begin inside Vandegrift High School. This may result in terrible jokes, sarcasm, and rambling.
Good day, Vipers, and I apologize for the interruption of your regularly scheduled programming, but I've just received word of important weather-related news for the week, and it must be shared by me, despite you all being capable of doing it yourself. Well, with that out of the way, why don't we take a look at what this week has to offer in this breaking news segment. Starting off this week, it looks like summer is trying to sneak into the wrong season here because on Monday for today, we have a high of 77 with a low of 63. For Tuesday, we are currently looking at continuous attempts of summer weather invaded December with a high of 79 and a low of 64. Wednesday should be the final day of invasion from summer with a high of 67 and a low of 39. For Thursday, I'm glad to announce the weather begins to stabilize here with a high of 64 and a low of 42. Looking at Friday, we should have clear skies all day with a high of 65 and a low of 35. Saturday is going to kick off the weekend strong with a high of 63 and a low of 42. And for Sunday, it's going to have a high of 63 and a low of 48. Well, that's all for this weather-related breaking news update for this week. And with that, we return to your regularly scheduled programming.
Before we head out for Christmas break, here's this week's Mental Health Minute about your circle of control.
Hello, Leander ISD, and welcome to the Mental Health Minute. Today, we're going to talk about our circle of control. There are lots of things in our everyday lives that are in our control, and others that are outside of our control. For example, the fact that there may be a test in science tomorrow is not in your control, but how prepared you feel for the test is in your control. It is important to put your time, energy, and emotions towards things you can control, and not waste them on things you cannot control. You can spend time and energy worrying about being mad that there is a test at all, or you can spend your time and energy studying and being prepared for the test. Sometimes it's even helpful to draw up a circle on a piece of paper and take a moment to think about what you can control and what is in your circle of control. Things like yourself, your behavior, the words you say, your attitude are all in your circle of control. You can change those things, then add to the outside of the circle things that are not in your control. The weather, your friends, family, school rules, and guidelines, those are all things we typically can't change and are out of our circle of control. However, sometimes there are things that may seem outside your control that are worth fighting for change. Next time you're feeling worried or stressed about something, stop to think of it as something you're in your control or not. If it is, what can you do about it? If it is not in your control, what do you need to let go or find a way to make a change? Remember to focus most of your time and energy on the things within your circle of control. Have a great day.
Make sure to follow our Instagram and our TikTok, Vandegrift TV, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vandegrift Media Productions, if you have not already.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.